Welcome to Grove Load. I'm Anthony, and the Microsoft Activision Blizzard King deal has been done for roughly 3 months ish, and now Microsoft has laid off and about 1,900 people out of that whole Xbox gaming division now. It's a pretty big division with the combination of the two, and they're cutting those jobs, which I do hope that if you've, lost your job out of this, that you do get back on your feet quickly and get into something you like to do. And yeah, hopefully you're blessed in that area because it is not fun going through sort of that sort of thing. And this is uh, this is kind of what was, I was expecting after this. It's not something I like to see, but when you have mergers like this, you get sort of, you get through duplication, and I guess this is what Microsoft kind of went through and saw as duplication. And Mike Yarba, and hopefully I pronounced his name right, he was at Microsoft, then he moved to Blizzard, and now he's back at Microsoft. That's the deal. He is also leaving, and he posted a message on Twitter about the layoffs and his departure. So if you want to go check that out, definitely go and check that out if you want. And the other thing out of this is that the Blizzard's upcoming survival game, that is canceled. So Odyssey is now canceled, and this was, we look back about a year ago, this was actually headed up by a Far Cry boss. So that's interesting, and it is not something I like to see after this deal. And we'll get into that here in a little bit. But let's first touch on something else. There was at Windows Central, Jez Cordone has some more insight, and he said that from his sources that a lot of this was, or that basically two groups are being kind of shut down, which is Xbox games to physical retail and Activision Blizzard customer service. And you can kind of see the customer service side, right? You roll that into the Xbox customer service, which, makes sense. Hopefully, where there was good people, those people are still along, because you do need some of that knowledge that is in some of these employees for, customer service and how to deal with issues. But the other side of it too with the physical media is, or physical retail, right? A lot of that has just dwindled over the years, and it seems like Microsoft's just, kind of closing it down. As much as I do like physical media, um, I'd like to have just, games as downloads too, to be able to download that, even, save it and be able to play it at a different time, click on the exe, right, and good to go, or the install file. Granted, that's not how a lot of it's done. It's through, these um, like Steam and GOG and Xbox games, stuff like that. But I do wish for a time where you could just have, the install files on your system and off to the races, kind of like a DVD, but just digital only. And, as times are changing, I kind of see this as another one of what Ubisoft just said is we got to get people on the subscription model, which, this isn't that, right, to that extent at this point. But when you see things, yeah, we're getting rid of the physical media, we're closing down, reducing the size of that part, physical retail of, the Xbox games, you kind of start thinking of, is this just the progression to make me have to subscribe? Granted, I probably still won't do it because I need to see the value in it. But if if you play a lot of games, there is value in there. I just don't have enough time to sit down and play enough to get the value out of it that I like to have. But these are all now shutting down. Microsoft's laying off these 1,900 or roughly 1,900 jobs across or in the gaming side of things, and it is sad for these people to go. Now let's touch on the gaming side of things. Now, one concern I had when this whole deal was going through was, is Microsoft going to be committed to getting these games out and getting more games into gamers' hands and creating bigger libraries? and putting IP of games, right, so that gamers have more variety to choose from, right? If Activision and Blizzard are still with Microsoft Xbox games and everything underneath there, still release the same amount of games as they were releasing before, I think we're in a good spot. I'd like to even see more games, but at least stay at the same level. Now, if we're announced games are being reduced and there's fewer and fewer games that Microsoft's putting out, I think that was a huge lose then for the gamers as a whole outside of this, right? Maybe Microsoft will make more money out of it than ever before, which, fine, right? That's good for them. But, are you, as a gamer, I don't think that that's going to look well on this. When I want to go play a game, I want something I want to play, and hopefully it's something in the genre of games I'm looking for, etc. Right? Everyone has their niche. Some people are broader than that, but if you reduce the amount of games that are out there, it's going to be, I think, kind of devastating to gamers out there if they start seeing a lot more games being canceled than being announced. So it's something just to keep an eye on, especially with us being 3 months after and already one announcement of Odyssey. Maybe there was problems, maybe there was, unforeseen circumstances and it just needed to be, you know, basically have to be cut in order because it was never going to be viable. That could have been. But, at the same time, maybe throw us a bone and announce something, because I think that there are going to be more gamers kind of scrutinizing this, and especially after what all the governments did. I think they're going to want to scrutinize this as well, and they're going to be watching it um, take place. I mean, here in the United States, FTC just, gave, what is it, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, OpenAI, and somebody else 45 days to explain all their partnerships and how their business dealings are, how they're interconnected. So, something like that where I could see these agencies, that approval agencies, kind of go through and let's take a bigger dive into this. But let me know what your thoughts are on the Microsoft Blizzard King Activision deal and the game cancellation. That's there. I mean, the job stuff is sad, so it's not like you can really say much about that besides just sad face. But the game stuff is interesting. It's something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. So leave it in the comments below. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing the video. It really does help out the channel. Until next time, God bless.